All right, so first Hellraiser going to Hulu. Now the next Evil Dead flick going straight to HBO Max, and without Ash. Oh man, Shane Ash has got something to say. Movie news.
This is DSU News with Shane Nasty, baby!
Now, full disclosure, Evil Dead is my all-time favorite horror franchise. It has everything I love in horror. The blood, the gore, the violence, badass one-liners, the comedy, and of course, Ash. Evil Dead is goddamn perfection. It blends all those elements together perfectly. Now, the new film is titled Evil Dead Rise, which moves the action out of the woods and into the city. And it centers on two estranged sisters portrayed by Alyssa Sutherland and Lily Sullivan, whose reunion is cut short by the rise of flesh-possessing demons, thrusting them into a primal battle for survival as they face the most nightmarish version of family imaginable. And this film builds off the original trilogy as opposed to the remake made back in 2013. It's produced by Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell, and directed by Lee Cronin, who made a film called Hole in the Ground. Bruce Campbell had this to say about the film. At its core, Evil Dead is about ordinary people overcoming extraordinary, terrifying situations. I can't wait for Alyssa and Lily to fill the blood-soaked shoes of those who have come before them and carry on that tradition. Unfortunately, there will be no Ash in this film. This is supposed to be a new chapter, as Bruce has promised he was done playing the role after Ash vs. Evil Dead was canceled after 3 seasons. But he does have the video game coming out later this year. He did the voice work for that, so that's something to look forward to. But anyhow, is this good or bad for the franchise to have no Ash? I mean, this man is synonymous to the movies, and it's going to be strange not having him there. And yes, in the remake, he wasn't the lead in the film, but he did have a cameo at the end after the credits. It's going to be so strange to see new characters take over. No more witty one-liners? No more chainsaw? No more boomstick? Ugh. Man, these two characters have some big-ass shoes to fill, because everyone loves Ash. But if Bruce himself signs off on it, I guess I have a little optimism, but not too much yet. They got a lot to prove in this upcoming film, so we'll see. There's something else we need to address in this film that's going straight to HBO Max. This makes me curious about the budget behind this film. I just hope they don't go cheap and cut corners to make this, because it will definitely show on the screen. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know Sam Raimi had a small budget for the first 2 Evil Dead flicks and made classics out of that, but it would be preferable to put ample money behind this because it deserves that type of treatment anyhow. Kind of want to speculate on what we know of the story so far, so it seems that this movie's connected to the trilogy anyhow, so maybe the Necronomicon is found and put in a bookstore, let's just say that, and somehow these sisters pick up that old relic, and on a long drinking stupor at home or something, they decide to read those classic scriptures, and all hell breaks loose? I don't know, maybe? Who knows? But I do like the idea of the Deadites roaming in the city. There's so much things you could do with that. I mean, have that little demonic thing going around, chasing after a woman who's walking her dog or something, and it attacks the dog and possesses the dog, and the dog's like, ruff, ruff. But, subtitle-wise, it says, I'll swallow your soul, I'll swallow your soul. I don't know, I'm being goofy. I'm thinking of the old school stuff. Who knows, they might take this more serious, so it might not be as goofy and crazy, but I do hope there's a lot of gore and blood and all that stuff at least, and maybe a little bit of comedy. I mean, it's not to be slapstick or anything, but just keep the same elements that we had before. And shooting is supposed to begin in June in New Zealand, and I'll bring more news as it becomes available. How do you guys feel about this one? Do you feel like the franchise can fare okay without Ash in the picture? Or is it doomed to fail because he's not in it? Will these two sisters be the new badasses? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And please leave a like and subscribe, folks. As always, stay nasty, my friends. Keep it horror, because when you join the Don't Split Up channel, hell has never been so cool. Shay Nasty out.
And now, Trailer Talk with Shane Nasty. Psst. Yo, come here, man. Yo, have you heard about that new movie? What? Trailer Trailer Talk.